Visa application tips, your ultimate guide to success. Planning to travel abroad? Getting a visa is often the first major step in making your dream trip a reality. But let me tell you, from personal experience traveling to over 30 countries, I've seen it all when it comes to visa applications. Some people make it way more complicated than it needs to be. Before you dive into the application process, there are some key things you must know to increase your chances of success. We're talking about avoiding those frustrating delays and making sure your application process is as smooth as possible. Let's walk through the essential requirements that will help make your visa application process smoother. First things first, you absolutely need a valid passport. This is like the most basic requirement, but you'd be surprised how many people trip up on this one. Make sure your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your planned travel dates. I always recommend having at least a year or two left on your passport before you even think about traveling. It just saves you a lot of potential headaches down the line. Trust me, the last thing you want is to be stuck at the airport because your passport is expiring soon. It's a rookie mistake, and we don't want that happening to you. Next up, you need to figure out what type of visa you need. This is super important because different countries offer different types of visas, each with its own set of requirements and restrictions. You got your tourist visas, student visas, business visas, work visas, the list goes on and on. Choosing the wrong visa type is a surefire way to get your application delayed or even rejected. So, do your research, my friends. Check the specific requirements for the country you're visiting, and make sure you're applying for the right visa that aligns with the purpose of your trip. Alright, let's talk about money. One of the biggest things that immigration authorities look at is your financial situation. They want to make sure you have enough dough to support yourself during your stay, and that you're not going to be a financial burden on their country. Now, how do you prove you're financially stable? Well, you need to gather up those bank statements for the last 3 to 6 months. And I'm not just talking about showing a few $100 in your account. You want to show a consistent flow of income and a healthy balance. If you've got investments, rental income, or any other sources of income, include those documents too. The more proof you have, the better. Listen up, folks, because this next tip is crucial. Immigration authorities want to see that you have a clear plan for your trip. They want to know why you're visiting, where you're going, and how long you're staying. This is where having a detailed travel itinerary comes in handy. Book your flights, reserve your accommodations, and even plan out some activities. Having these bookings in place shows that you're serious about your trip and that you have a solid plan to return home. Remember, a well-structured itinerary demonstrates your genuine intentions and increases your chances of visa approval. Alright, so you've got your itinerary sorted, but you also need to back it up with supporting documents that prove the purpose of your visit. What I mean by this is, if you're visiting family or friends, get an invitation letter from them stating the purpose and duration of your stay. If you're going for studies, include your acceptance letter from the educational institution. And if it's a business trip, have your employer provide a letter outlining the purpose of your visit and your expected return date. Remember, the more evidence you provide to support your application, the stronger it becomes. Trust me on this one, guys, getting sick or injured while traveling abroad is not something you want to experience. It's expensive, stressful, and can really put a damper on your trip. That's why it's super important to have travel insurance. Now, many countries actually require travelers to have health insurance coverage for the duration of their stay. This ensures that in case of an emergency, you won't be a burden on their healthcare system. But even if it's not mandatory, I highly recommend getting travel insurance anyway. It's better to be safe than sorry, right? The visa application form is like the heart and soul of your application. It's where you provide all the juicy details about yourself, your travel plans, and your background. Now, here's the thing. You need to fill out this form with absolute precision and honesty. Any mistakes or omissions, even small ones, can raise red flags and jeopardize your chances of getting approved. Double-check everything, and I mean everything, before you submit your application. Make sure your name, address, passport details, and all the other information you provide is accurate and consistent with the supporting documents you're submitting. One of the biggest concerns immigration authorities have is whether applicants will actually return to their home country after their visa expires. To address this concern, you need to provide strong evidence of your ties to your home country. This shows that you have compelling reasons to return and are not planning to overstay your visa. Think about it. What are the things that root you to your home country? Do you have a stable job, own property, have family commitments? These are all strong indicators that you have a life to go back to. Alright, let's talk about the not-so-fun part. Visa fees. Yes, my friends, applying for a visa usually comes with a price tag. These fees vary depending on the country you're applying to and the type of visa you need. Some countries have a flat fee, while others have tiered fees based on the length of stay or the processing time. Now here's the deal. Make sure you're aware of the exact visa fee and the accepted payment methods. Some countries require online payments, while others might accept cash or bank drafts. In some cases, you might be required to provide biometric data as part of the visa application process. This typically involves getting your fingerprints scanned and a photograph taken. It's just another way for immigration authorities to verify your identity and ensure everything is legit. Now, some countries also require applicants to attend an in-person interview. This is usually the last step in the process, and it's your chance to make a good impression and answer any questions the visa officer may have. Listen up, procrastinators. When it comes to visa applications, timing is everything. Visa processing times can vary wildly depending on the country and the time of year. Some countries might process your visa in a matter of days, while others can take weeks or even months. Don't wait until the last minute to apply. I recommend starting the application process at least 2 to 3 months before your intended travel date. This gives you enough buffer time in case of any unexpected delays. Now that you know the key requirements for a successful visa application, make sure to gather all the necessary documents, double-check your information, and apply with confidence. Safe travels and good luck with your visa application. Remember, applying for a visa doesn't have to be a stressful ordeal. With a little bit of preparation and attention to detail, you can increase your chances of getting approved and finally embark on that dream trip you've been planning. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel tips.